Have you ever pondered the many worlds interpretation of quantum theory and the implications it has on your personal observations? Let's dive into the depths of this fascinating concept. The many worlds interpretation of quantum theory proposes the existence of a veritable infinity of parallel universes with a veritable infinity of parallel U's. It's a mind-boggling idea, right? But according to Jacob Barandis, a respected physics lecturer at Harvard University, this idea is nothing more than wild speculation. In his November 2023 article, "The Multiverse is Unscientific Nonsense," he concludes, "We should treat the extraordinary claim that we're living in a vast quantum multiverse of uncountably many universes as the wild speculation that it is." Even Philip Ball, an esteemed science writer, shares a similar view. In his critique of the many worlds interpretation, a key aspect of the multiverse theory, he argues that this interpretation undermines the very basis of our perceived reality. It suggests that our unique experiences and observations, the things we hold as truths, are mere illusions. So the question arises, can we trust our personal observations within the many worlds interpretation of quantum theory? Let's delve into the denial of personal observations within various scientific theories. A fascinating aspect of atheistic metaphysics, particularly in Darwinian theory, is the dismissal of the self and the denial of the reliability of personal observations. M. Anthony Mills, in his 2018 article, suggests that reductive materialism, a key aspect of atheistic metaphysics, implies that you do not exist because you are not a material constituent postulated by any of our most fundamental physical theories. As Duke University professor Alex Rosenberg stated, "There is no self in, around, or as part of anyone's body. There can't be. The self is just another illusion." Moreover, cognitive scientist Donald Hoffman, via population genetics, found that, according to evolution by natural selection, an organism that sees reality as it is will never be more fit than an organism of equal complexity that sees none of reality but is just tuned to fitness. Never. This implies that our observations, our perception of reality, are essentially illusions, perceptions which are tuned not to accuracy but to survival. This denial of the reliability of personal observations is not just philosophically intriguing, but it also has profound implications for the very nature of empirical science itself. After all, the backbone of the scientific method is reliable observation. As stated on Wikipedia, the scientific method involves careful observation, applying rigorous skepticism about what is observed, given that cognitive assumptions can distort how one interprets the observation. In other words, if our observations are not reliable, if our perception of reality is nothing more than an illusion, then how can the scientific method stand? Observation is not just a passive act of receiving information, but it is an active process of interpreting, making sense of what is before us, and making predictions. If the observer does not exist, or if the observer's perceptions are not reliable, then the scientific method loses its footing. Thus, without reliable observations, the very foundation of empirical science crumbles. This is a significant concern in the realm of atheistic metaphysics, where personal observations are often dismissed or denied. This denial, however, is not just philosophically contentious, but it also undermines the very essence of empirical science. However, experimental results from quantum theory defy these atheistic predictions. Let's take a closer look. In a landmark study conducted in 2015, the Wheeler's delayed choice experiment with atoms, led by Dr. Andrew Truscott, discovered something mind-boggling. Truscott concluded, "At the quantum level, reality does not exist if you are not looking at it." That's right, our observation, our conscious perception, directly influences reality. In a similarly profound experiment in 2007, Anton Zeilinger and his team violated Leggett's inequality. The astonishing takeaway from this experiment, Zeilinger found that reality does not exist when we're not observing it. What these groundbreaking experiments are telling us is that our conscious observations aren't just important, they're indispensable in defining reality. They stand as a testament to the reliability of our perceptions, challenging the denial of personal observations in atheistic theories. These experiments prove that our perceptions of reality are far more reliable than what atheistic theories predict. So, Where does this leave us in the grand scheme of things? After exploring the many worlds interpretation and Darwinian theory and the crucial role of personal observations in empirical science, it's clear that atheistic metaphysics undermines empirical science. The denial of a self who observes a reality as proposed by these atheistic theories contradicts the foundational principle of the scientific method itself, namely reliable observation. Despite the wild speculations of a quantum multiverse, or the denial of self and reliable observations in reductive materialism, experimental results continue to underscore the importance of observation, reinforcing the fact that our perceptions of reality are not illusions. This leads us to a compelling conclusion. It is within theistic metaphysics, a metaphysics that holds we exist as real persons with accurate perceptions, that science finds a firm grounding. Here, we are not merely illusions lost in a sea of countless universes or mere aggregations of matter with illusory observations of reality, but are instead held to be real persons who have accurate perceptions of a single rational universe. In conclusion, and contrary to popular belief, it's only within theistic metaphysics, rather than in atheistic metaphysics, that empirical science finds a firm grounding.